Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am ZJ Pierce, the Southern Wrestling Scholar. This is Quick React, and today we are talking about the March 20th episode of SmackDown. This was a very fine episode, a lot of show-long stories going on tonight. We have some new champions. Like, that's crazy, we have some new champions. Ooh, boy. We'll get into my thoughts on that later, but if y'all ready, I'm ready. Let's not waste any more time. Tag me in. So, boom, the night starts off with Drew McIntyre crashing his car into Jacob Fatu and then, dragging him through the windshield. Obviously, that was the fakest windshield in the world, but drags him through the windshield and just wailing on him until Nick Aldis and them can't pull him off. Drew then makes his way into the arena, asking Jacob what he thought was going to happen. You cost me the championship, all that woo-woo. Nick Aldis comes out and says, "You are the most self-sabotaging man I've ever met in my life. Like, you get chance after chance and you just blow it. So, you need to just stop acting like a child." And Drew McIntyre says, "Your child should be ashamed of the corporate stooge that you've become." Jacob Fatu then just comes out bloody and all, just ready to keep fighting. I'm talking about they just come out swinging. Throws Drew into the stairs. Security try to back him up. Jacob Fatu pushed Drew McIntyre on the announce table. And as they try to push Jacob through the crowd, he just runs through the timekeepers area and hits a running splash through the table. It was beautiful work. And they just kept fighting. As night goes on, they just keep fighting. They fight the entire night. I'll tell y'all how it goes later in this because they do actually close out the show still fighting. But, yeah. Next, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship match of the MFTs being represented by Thomas Hogan and JC Mateo against number one contenders Damian Priest and R-Truth. And I'm just going to take a minute to let y'all figure out how that went. After some Y6 interference and, Uncle Howdy choking up Solo Sikoa, but, them still maintaining the lantern, the MFTs would fall to R-Truth, hitting the Attitude Adjustment on JC Mateo to become your new WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Damian Priest and R-Truth. I wouldn't have put money on that. You couldn't have told me to put money on that. But hey, that's what we got. Congratulations to them, I guess. Then, just to add further disrespect to this tag team division, we then had a banger of a tag team match between Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns. They had a pretty fine match. Candice LeRae is starting to get a little cozy with Alex Shelley, I guess. The Motor City Machine Guns are going to, include Johnny Gargano at some point. Because Candice LeRae nails the cheap shot on Axiom to help Motor City Machine Guns get the roll-up victory. Backstage, Sami Zayn has been asked about his mental state lately, about how he feels about the whole Cody Rhodes situation. But before he can really get anything out, he's interrupted by Trick Williams, who says that Sammy needs to learn how to respect when grown men just talking. Trick Williams, living pepper stepper, all that. And Sami Zayn invites Trick Williams to come down to the ring and watch him have his match against Aleister Black so he can learn how, professionals wrestle. And the same thing goes for the Bella Twins towards Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair because the Bella Twins have a tag team title match tonight for whatever reason. Randy Orton then comes out to explain his actions from last week, saying that he knows that he did get a little smile from all the time he's, high-fived the little kids and did things with the signs and all the woo-woo. But he doesn't want his legacy to be handshakes and high-fives. He wants his legacy to be how many world titles he's held. And like he said, Cody Rhodes asked him to listen to the voices in his head. So the voice in his head said, do whatever you got to do to win the world title at WrestleMania, and that's what he's going to do. Like I said, this was not a heel turn. At no point, I'm telling you, this is not a heel turn. I just beat up Cody Rhodes. Okay. Next, Aleister Black took on Sami Zayn in a very fun match. Obviously, Trick Williams was at ringside, and Trick Williams plays a finish in the match as he tosses his drink on Sami Zayn in the most hilarious way. Trick Williams had a cup drop. Not a mic drop, a cup drop. This will lead to Sami Zayn getting distracted rather than getting back in the ring to attack Trick. But upon Sami getting back in the ring, he is hit with the Blackiest of Black Masses. for the Aleister Black pinfall. Aleister Black even looks down before the pinfall after he hits the Black Mass like, Sammy. I can't wait for this Sami Zayn heel turn. He's going to turn heel on Trick Williams. It's going to be good. Next, Jade Cargill calls out Rhea Ripley, and Jade tells Rhea that she knows that she needs this, while Jade doesn't need this because she's the star everywhere she goes. Rhea Ripley says that though she does bleed this industry, she doesn't need the WWE Women's Championship. She wants it. However, the WWE Women's Champion needs Rhea since it's on the waist of Jade Cargill. And she dares Jade to hit her. Obviously, Jade's back down, but while she's walking to the back, Michin and B-Fab appear, almost as if they're about to attack Jade and back her up into the corner with Rhea. But then they swarm the ring around Rhea, and oh my God, the baddies are back. They lay Rhea out, jaded, woo-de-woo. Like it's just the baddies, and this doesn't necessarily work after we've been feuding for like half a year. Like now, especially after I just lost to you last week. Now okay. This week in the U.S. Open Challenge, Carmelo Hayes defended the United States Championship against Ilya Dragunov in a banger of a match. There was a very good near fall in there where Carmelo Hayes hit the first 48 when Dragunov was trying to go coast to coast, and immediately after that first 48, Dragunov just fell into the H-bomb. Like, if it wasn't for Carmelo getting his foot on the ropes, like, that would have been the end of the match. But then they went another 10 minutes. Like, Dragunov Carmelo Hayes had a fantastic match, which all came down to Dragunov hitting the, I forgot what he called that headbutt. The Moscow Missile or whatever. Torpedo Moscow. He would hit Torpedo Moscow, but would then go for a powerbomb. But Carmelo Hayes would sunset flip out of the powerbomb and pin Ilya Dragunov to retain the title. Like, this was a very good match. Tama Tonga tells Solo Sikoa that he's starting to sound like Roman Reigns and he needs to return the Lantern. But, that's interrupted by more Jacob and Drew fighting. I told y'all squabbled up all night between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. And this is where SmackDown enters hour 3 and they're just clearly looking for stuff. Jelly Roll, upon his entrance for his Kit Wilson segment, has a heart-to-heart with Randy Orton because apparently Randy Orton decked Matt Cardona early in the night. And Jelly Roll says that's not who Randy Orton is, and Randy Orton is all conflicted. Like, what do I do? Like, Jelly Roll says you go out there and you make it right, which he does in the main event segment, but we'll get to that later. But now it's time for Kit Wilson to call out Jelly Roll, and Kit Wilson says that they're not here to have a fight. Like, Jelly Roll's ready for a match. Kit Wilson says they're not going to have a match, they're not going to have a fight. They're going to have a war of words. Jelly Roll thinks it's a rap contest. Swerve, nope. Poetry slam, bruh. Like, straight up. And Kit got some good ones in. Like, that Ozempic line was kind of hard. But then Jelly Roll just came back with some Yo Mama jokes and, like, made Kit Wilson mad. Kit Wilson attacked him from behind. And Jelly Roll backstage says that he wants Kit Wilson in a match next week. Next, the Bella Twins take on Nia Jax and Lash Legend, their irresistible forces, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And this was a match. It was their obvious Nikki Bella botch because she can't perform that springboard kick on nobody no more. It was good to see Brie Bella in the ring. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss came out, eventually sat down. And when Nia Jax was going to hit Brie Bella with the championship match, with the championship belt, Charlotte Flair would intervene and attack Nia Jax, costing the Bella Twins the match via disqualification. All 6 women would brawl with irresistible forces standing tall. They're going to have a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I can feel it. And in the main event segment, Randy Orton comes out to apologize to Matt Cardona for attacking him earlier backstage. But boom, it was all a setup because he then just brutalizes Matt Cardona, kicks him in the nuts, smashes his arm in a chair. Randy Orton type things because who is Matt Cardona? And as security is pulling away, we cut to see that Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre have made their way outside on some type of little security platform or roof or whatever. Either way it goes, they start brawling, and eventually both of them falls off. Like, so they fall to the concrete floor, I guess. Like, like I said, we didn't see it because they had the camera in front of like a gate. But yeah, they fell off a small building onto the floor. Or like, you know, we couldn't see the safety pads. Y'all know it was safety padded. But yeah, that was the March 20th episode of SmackDown. Let me know what you thought of the video down below. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. I thank you all so much for following me on this journey as I try to get some wrestling content out here. Like I said, I've been a fan of professional wrestling for a very long time, and I just really want to give back to professional wrestling. If I could leave you guys with anything today, I am going to leave you with Matthew 23:12. It says, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I remind you guys every time I do one of these, I don't do this for me. I do this with the help of the Lord. The Lord has been my guiding light, and I take no pride in what I do because all glory goes to God. Glorify God in what you do. Don't be humble about it because it's not on your power. It's by God's power. All right, for a quick react, I'm the Southern Wrestling Scholar. I will see you guys next time.